Our second speaker today is Lynn Green. She is currently the Associate Superintendent of the Vancouver Board of Education. She works with 34 elementary and secondary schools in the north area of the city and has district responsibility for the inner city school program and community school teams. Lynn has been a teacher and counselor in elementary and secondary schools in both Ontario and British Columbia, and has more recently been the principal of Gladstone Secondary School in Vancouver. Staff and professional development, appreciative organizational change, and support services for children and youth have also been significant focuses in various consultant and administrative positions she has assumed in the Vancouver School District. In her current job, Lynn works directly with schools in supporting ongoing growth and building leadership capacity. Experience has taught her that student learning and development are enriched by the partnerships and connections that schools have with community organizations. In her work with inner city schools, Lynn also recognizes the significance of social-emotional learning, after-school programming, and ready access to community services as essential factors in building resiliency in vulnerable children and youth. Please welcome Lynn Green to the stage.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here today, and I think the last time I stood on this stage, it was during a graduation ceremony when I was principal at Gladstone Secondary School. Anyone here a grad of Gladstone? Anyone? Yes? Good. Hey. So thank you for the kind introduction, and I'm really very, very pleased to be invited to meet all of you today and to have the opportunity to speak to you for a few minutes about the enormous contribution you are about to make to Vancouver schools. A few weeks ago, I had the opportunity of introducing our new Vancouver School Board Superintendent, Steve Cardwell, to the Learning Exchange partners that we meet with, Margot and Kathleen. And they talked to Steve about the Learning Exchange and more specifically about the Reading Work Community Service Learning projects that we're about to start here in Vancouver. Now, Steve comes from Delta, and we have, in Vancouver, have kept this partnership with the Learning Exchange a great secret. And so he was truly inspired to hear about all that the Learning Exchange offers to our Vancouver schools and the wonderful connection that we have with UBC. My workmate, Brenda Burrows, and I meet regularly with Kathleen and Margot and other staff with the Learning Exchange to develop plans and to share some ideas and directions that we might go together in our strong partnership. And I know that throughout our system, the partnership and connection that we have with UBC is really deeply valued by people in the schools and in the district. Now, as I indicated in my introduction, I work directly with many schools in Vancouver, and many of them are inner city schools. And the principals have talked to me and told me stories about the experiences that the students have had during Reading Week over the past several years. And they are incredibly inspiring stories of the kind of connections that the students make and the relationships that are developed between the UBC students and the teachers and staff in the schools and the children, of course. How many of you are graduates of Vancouver schools? Excellent. So giving back to your community, fabulous. What we know about, and many of you will know about Vancouver schools, is there's an enormous diversity in the schools. We, of course, have wonderful richness of the multicultural diversity in all of our classrooms. We also have an enormous diversity of socioeconomic levels. And if you think about how the school district extends right from the Burnaby border, so Boundary Road, right across to the University Endowment lands, and you think about the different pockets and areas of our city, you can just imagine the kind of diversity that we see in our classrooms. We have 14 schools that are designated as inner city schools, and some of you will be working in those schools and working on the projects during Reading Week. Others of you will be in schools that aren't designated inner city schools, but you'll still see that there's a tremendous variety of needs and learning styles in all of the classrooms that you are going to be working with.